Hi everybody, this is me, Miss S. Hello, and we're going to be painting today. We're going to be painting our paper plate. We're going to prep it for a weaving we're going to do. Our plate will serve as our loom. We're going to get some paints, and then these are acrylic paints, so they dry a little more like plastic rather than watercolors that are much more liquidy and watery, and they need water to get activated. Acrylics are just naturally thick and moist, so all you have to do is dip into your color and start to paint. We want to paint the outer edges of our plates, most especially. Our weaving's going to be in the middle of our plate, and we're going to use the outer area to be painting. And I'm skipping like every two areas, and I'm just going to be painting a spot here. I'm just choosing my colors as I go. And I want to have some symmetry on my plate. So if I paint every two rectangles or squares yellow, I'm gonna keep doing that around. I want to have radial symmetry, which means it's symmetrical or the same as it goes around. And there we go. So I've got my yellow pieces all the way around, and then I can wash out my brush and get a new color, or I can change brushes. I'm going to go ahead and take some blue next. This brush is a little mushy and it's not making the kinds of lines I'd like, so I'm actually going to change it out and get a different brush, and that's okay. So you might have to do another layer. Oops, I made a mistake, so I just wiped it right off. And I could put that blue paint that I got on my thumb now onto that spot, because I want the blue paint to be next to the yellow. Again, working with radial symmetry, so I want to make it the same going around. Next to the yellow, I'm doing blue. If you don't want your colors to mix, then I would go to every other space. And you want to skip one spot so that way the other spot can take time to dry. It has time to dry before you get to it. All right, so I think I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and instead of painting this spot, I'm going to give it some time to dry. You can always do another layer too if you want to thicken. You see how the white's kind of coming through a little bit. If I put another layer, I can thicken that, especially after it dries. Right now it's not dried yet, and that's why it's not quite clearing out. It's because the texture of this plate is plasticky. It's got a kind of a shiny surface, so it doesn't it doesn't absorb the paint very easily. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get another color. I actually had blue on this, and now I just added some purple. So I'm just painting a design around my plate. And I want to make it round. So while this is a wobbly organic shape, I am painting it around my plate. Okay. I can leave white space I can paint my whole plate if I want, but I do want to show a variety of shapes and lines. I want to brighten this up a little and get some red spots here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just painting a design around my plate and repeating the same design around. Oops, I accidentally put it into blue paint, so I'm just going to go ahead and carry on and use the other side of my brush. You could give some time so that your colors can dry in between the time that you painted purple. Maybe do a different color and then let it dry so that way you can have colors that aren't going to mix. So I'm just going to let that dry for a moment and then I'll continue painting my pattern around my plate.